You can talk about, you had 2 touchdowns nullified by holding penalties. You had the botched field goal. When you lose a game by 3 points, are you talking to them about that as much as the drive at the end in terms of why you lost the game?
Yeah, and that's why I said missed opportunities when we talked about it. The missed opportunities we had, and I asked Brockhouse Khan, who's been a very reliable, steady holder, and I said, what happened? He said, Coach, it went through my hands. What did I do, scream at him? I mean, they didn't make it come back, and it was missed opportunities. I know he felt worse than anybody did, and I needed him the rest of the day. I mean, but that's definitely was the story. We had our opportunities. We had them in 3rd and 20. We had them in 3rd and long and couldn't get off the field. We had a couple scoring opportunities and we couldn't get it in the end zone. But it certainly wasn't from a lack of effort. It certainly wasn't because they didn't care. It certainly wasn't because they just went out there and just went through the motions. I think they went out there and competed their tails off. We had some opportunities and we didn't make the most of them.
Skip, can you just give us an update on Sterling Griffin and where he stands?
At this point, I don't know. I know he started to get stiff. They've got some concerns. Obviously, I'm almost positive it's the same ankle that he missed last year because of. He said he felt some popping. We're going to have to see, is it scar tissue? Is that it was tightening up on him? I don't know how much it's swelling. We're just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to wait and see. We have an open date, but I think Ricardo Dixon and him are the 2 ones that I'm really concerned about. But there were a lot of guys that were bumped and bruised or in some way, shape, or form limited in this game. It was a hard-hitting game.
Skip, do you have a sense for why Dixon was in the game on that play? Was there an injury that had brought him in the game? Or?
I know Q and Kayvon at bits and pieces at different times, but no, on that exact play, I can't tell you exactly why he was in. He has been playing our nickel, and he's been doing a nice job. He was a backup nickel to Jenkins. And like I said, because of some of the injuries, special teams, all of a sudden guys are going on special teams. A guy like Jenkins is on every special team. Joyce, I know when Legis had to come out for a little bit, I mean, Joyce is playing every snap on defense and every snap on special teams. And so we're trying to get some of those guys a breath. And that's why we have depth. That's why I kept talking about at the beginning of this season. That's why my concern in this football team is the drop-off from the 1s to the 2s, because the 2s are going to have to play, and we're going to need it before this year's up. But really proud that we have a lot of guys stepped up and the way a lot of guys competed. As I said, I'm really proud of those young receivers for what they've done going into the game.
Is everything that happened these past few weeks an indication that this team might not be ready to win?
I don't know. I haven't evaluated it from that light. I mean, obviously, we're not. I mean, when we're sitting here, it's hard to say, oh, yeah, we're ready to win when we're 0-3 the last 3 weeks. We've had our opportunities. This is there are a lot of growing pains going on right now. And as I told the team, when we are tired enough of losing and we are willing to correct some of the mistakes that we're making, then we have a great opportunity to win. But I look at how many young guys are on this team, and some of the mistakes that are made are also investment in the future. I mean, an investment in the future. But yeah, I can't sit here and tell you, oh yeah, this team's ready to win when we've lost the last 3 games.
Are all the penalties a sign that this team might be undisciplined?
No, because last year we had 9, and I sent a bunch of them into the office, and they agreed they shouldn't have been penalties. So I will reserve my judgment on getting upset over penalties and getting mad at players until I have the opportunity to watch a film. I made that mistake last week. I made the mistake of getting on a bunch of players for penalties that were thrown, and I put on the film, and I couldn't find the penalties, and I sent them to the office, and they agreed they shouldn't have been penalties, and we'll grow from that as an officiating crew, and we'll improve on this, and we'll put this on a teaching reel, and we'll get better because of it. So until I put on the film and watch the penalty happen, I'm not willing to tell you this team is undisciplined, because that's been so uncharacteristic of us since we've been here. 90 yards of penalties, the most we've ever had last week, and 45 the conference office agrees shouldn't have been called. That's half your yardage. Now you come out today and have 109. How many of those am I going to put on the film and watch? I don't know. So, I mean, I'll reserve the right to make a comment on whether or not this team's undisciplined with penalties until I have the opportunity to see the film and see what they're doing to cause the penalty.
A few more for Coach.
Skip, what do you tell this team right now, sitting at 0-3, heading into another bye week?
We got to get better. I mean, kind of like what we were alluding to a minute ago. We're not where we need to be. I I don't question this team's effort. I don't question their work habits. I don't question if they want to be good. We're playing hard, but playing hard and playing smart are two different things. And right now we're making some costly mistakes. We as coaches, as players, as a program, nobody's pointing the finger as anybody. We're all in that boat. Everybody was in that locker room lost today. Everybody lost. Every coach lost. I'm 0-3 the last 3 weeks as a head coach. The coordinators are 0-3 as coordinators. The players are 0-3 as players. All we can do is look at the film, what we have to do to correct it, what we have to do to improve and get better, and keep pushing forward. We're not going to put our head in the sand and say, oh, we're 0-3, the sky is falling, we quit. We're not going to do it. We're going to continue to battle. We're going to continue to compete. I feel bad for the seniors, what few we have, but I feel bad for the seniors who don't have an opportunity long term. But I think there's a great foundation and a lot of hard work and effort that's going into what we're building right now. And like I said, I'm proud of the way this team is competing, but we have to eliminate some of the mistakes if we want to get to where we want to be.